Fact 1. The Sun makes up 99.86% of the total mass in our entire solar system. All the planets, moons, asteroids, and comets combined account for just 0.14%. This means our star is the ultimate gravitational anchor, holding everything in its vast orbit through sheer force of mass. Its core temperature reaches 15 million degrees Celsius, where nuclear fusion transforms hydrogen into helium, releasing the energy that lights and heats our world. Fact 2. Mercury, the closest planet to the Sun, has no real atmosphere to speak of. Because of this, it experiences the most extreme temperature swings in the solar system. The daytime side can reach 430 degrees C, hot enough to melt lead, while the nighttime side plummets to minus 180 degrees C. This difference of over 600 degrees is due to the lack of an atmospheric blanket to trap or distribute heat. Fact 3. Venus, often called Earth's twin in size, is a hellish example of a runaway greenhouse effect. Its thick atmosphere is 90 times denser than Earth's and is filled with clouds of sulfuric acid. The surface temperature is a constant 465 degrees C, hotter than Mercury, and the atmospheric pressure is like being 1 kilometer underwater on Earth. Fact 4. Earth is the only known planet with active plate tectonics. Our planet's crust is broken into giant plates that slowly drift, collide, and dive beneath each other. This process recycles carbon, regulates our climate over millions of years, and is crucial for creating the conditions that allowed life to arise and thrive. Fact 5. Mars hosts Olympus Mons, the largest volcano in the solar system. It's a shield volcano about 22 kilometers high and 600 kilometers across at its base. That's nearly 3 times the height of Mount Everest, and so wide that its peak would be above most of Earth's atmosphere. It's believed to be extinct, but its size hints at a geologically active past on the red planet. Fact 6. Jupiter's Great Red Spot is a giant anticyclonic storm that has been raging for at least 350 years, possibly much longer. It's so large that Earth could fit inside it. However, observations show it has been shrinking and becoming more circular over the past century, though it still remains a dominant feature of the solar system's largest planet. Fact 7. Saturn is not the only planet with rings, but it has the most spectacular and complex ring system. These rings are made almost entirely of water ice particles, ranging in size from dust grains to house-sized boulders. They are incredibly thin, sometimes only 10 meters thick, but span over 280,000 kilometers in diameter. Fact 8. Uranus rotates on its side, with an axial tilt of about 98 degrees. This means its poles experience 42 years of continuous sunlight followed by 42 years of darkness as it orbits the Sun. Scientists believe a catastrophic collision with an Earth-sized object early in its history knocked it over onto this extreme orientation. Fact 9. Neptune's moon Triton orbits in the wrong direction, retrograde compared to its planet's rotation. This, along with its composition similar to objects in the Kuiper Belt, strongly suggests it was not formed with Neptune, but was captured by the planet's gravity. Triton is also one of the few geologically active moons, with icy geysers erupting nitrogen gas. Fact 10. The asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter is often depicted as a crowded field of rocks. In reality, it's mostly empty space. The total mass of all asteroids is less than that of Earth's moon. A spacecraft passing through has a very low chance of collision, as asteroids are often millions of kilometers apart. Fact 11. Jupiter acts as the solar system's cosmic vacuum cleaner. Its immense gravity frequently attracts and captures comets and asteroids that might otherwise head toward the inner planets. The famous Shoemaker-Levy 9 comet impact in 1994 was a direct example, where Jupiter took a hit that could have been devastating for another world. Fact 12. Io, Jupiter's moon, is the most volcanically active body in the solar system. Its surface is dotted with hundreds of volcanoes, some erupting plumes of sulfur hundreds of kilometers high. This intense activity is caused by tidal heating. The gravitational pull of Jupiter and neighboring moons stretches and squeezes Io's interior, generating tremendous heat. Fact 13. Europa, another moon of Jupiter, harbors a global subsurface ocean beneath its icy crust. This ocean contains more than twice the volume of all Earth's oceans combined and is in contact with a rocky seafloor. The combination of liquid water, chemistry, and a heat source makes it one of the top candidates in the search for extraterrestrial life. Fact 14. Saturn's moon Titan is the only moon with a substantial atmosphere and the only body besides Earth with stable liquid on its surface. However, its rivers, lakes, and seas are filled not with water, but with liquid methane and ethane. It has a methane cycle similar to Earth's water cycle, complete with rain, evaporation, and surface collection. Fact 15. Enceladus, a small, icy moon of Saturn, sprays jets of water vapor and ice grains from a subsurface ocean into space from fractures near its south pole. These plumes contain organic compounds, salts, and evidence of hydrothermal activity on its ocean floor, making it another prime target in the search for life beyond Earth. Fact 16. Pluto, now classified as a dwarf planet, has a heart-shaped region on its surface named Tombaugh Regis. This bright, icy basin is mostly nitrogen ice and may hide a subsurface ocean. Its left lobe, Sputnik Planitia, is a vast glacier that likely influences the orientation of Pluto itself due to its extra mass. Fact 17. The Kuiper Belt is a vast region beyond Neptune filled with icy bodies, dwarf planets like Pluto, and remnants from the solar system's formation. It's the source of many short-period comets. The New Horizons mission to Pluto gave us our first close-up look at this distant, frozen frontier. Fact 18. The Oort cloud is a theoretical, spherical shell of icy objects believed to surround the solar system far beyond the Kuiper Belt. It may extend up to a light-year from the Sun and contain trillions of comet nuclei. Long-period comets like Hale-Bopp originate from this distant, gravitational hinterland. Fact 19. A day on Venus is longer than its year. Venus takes 243 Earth days to complete one rotation on its axis a day, but only 225 Earth days to complete one orbit around the Sun a year. Furthermore, it rotates in the opposite direction of most planets, meaning the Sun would rise in the west and set in the east if you could stand on its scorching surface. Fact 20. The solar system is not static, it's moving through space. The Sun, along with all its planets, orbits the center of our Milky Way galaxy at a speed of about 720,000 kilometers per hour. It takes roughly 230 million years to complete one galactic year, a single orbit around the galactic center. Fact 21. Mars has two tiny, irregularly shaped moons, Phobos and Deimos. They are likely captured asteroids. Phobos orbits so close to Mars that it rises and sets twice a day, while Deimos takes about 30 hours to cross the sky. Phobos is slowly spiraling inward and will either crash into Mars or be torn apart into a ring in about 50 million years. Fact 22. Jupiter's magnetic field is the strongest and largest planetary magnetic field in the solar system. It is about 20,000 times stronger than Earth's and extends so far that its magnetosphere would appear larger than the full moon in our sky if it were visible. This field traps intense radiation belts, making the environment around Jupiter extremely hazardous for spacecraft. Fact 23. Saturn is the least dense planet in the solar system. Its average density is about 0.687 grams per cubic centimeter, which is less than water. This means if you could find a bathtub large enough, Saturn would theoretically float. This low density is because it is composed mostly of hydrogen and helium, like a star, but lacks the mass to ignite fusion. Fact 24. Uranus emits very little heat compared to other giant planets, while Jupiter, Saturn, and Neptune radiate more energy than they receive from the Sun. Uranus's internal temperature is unusually low. One theory suggests a giant impact early in its history may have ejected much of its primordial heat into space. Fact 25. Neptune's winds are the fastest in the solar system, despite being the farthest planet from the sun and receiving the least solar energy. These supersonic wind speeds can reach up to 2,100 kilometers per hour. The driving force behind these extreme winds remains a topic of scientific study, as solar heating is minimal at that distance. Fact 26. The surface of Venus is relatively young in geological terms, about 300–600 million years old. It appears that a massive, global resurfacing event, likely a planet-wide volcanic upheaval, erased most of its older craters and terrain. This suggests Venus may have episodic, catastrophic volcanic activity rather than the steady plate tectonics of Earth. Fact 27. Mercury has a massive iron core that makes up about 60% of its volume, compared to Earth's core, which is about 15%. This oversized core gives Mercury a weak but detectable global magnetic field, something no other solid, rocky planet besides Earth possesses in our inner solar system. Scientists are still debating how such a small planet retained this large, molten core. Fact 28. Earth's moon is unusually large compared to its host planet. The moon's diameter is about 1/4 that of Earth, a much larger ratio than any other planet-moon system in the solar system. The leading theory for its formation is the giant impact hypothesis, where a Mars-sized body named Thea collided with the early Earth, ejecting debris that coalesced into the moon. Fact 29. Jupiter's moon Ganymede is the largest moon in the solar system and is even bigger than the planet Mercury. It is also the only moon known to have its own intrinsic magnetic field, which creates auroras in its thin atmosphere. Ganymede is thought to have a subsurface saltwater ocean sandwiched between layers of ice, making it another potential habitat for life. Fact 30. Saturn's rings are not permanent. They are relatively young, likely formed between 10 to 100 million years ago, possibly from the destruction of an icy moon or a comet that came too close. They are also disappearing, as icy ring material steadily rains down onto Saturn's atmosphere in a process called ring rain. Fact 31. The dwarf planet Ceres, located in the asteroid belt, may have a briny subsurface ocean. Observations have revealed bright spots in its Akata crater, which are deposits of sodium carbonate salts left behind by recent, in geological terms, upwellings of liquid from below. Ceres is now considered an ocean world, though its ocean is likely regional, not global. Fact 32. A year on Neptune lasts 165 Earth years. Since its discovery in 1846, Neptune has only completed one full orbit around the Sun in 2011. This means we have observed less than a single Neptunian year since we first found it. Each of its seasons lasts over 40 Earth years. Fact 33. The Sun's outer atmosphere, the corona, is paradoxically millions of degrees hotter than the surface below. The visible surface photosphere is about 500 Douglas sub, while the corona can reach temperatures over 13 million degrees Celsius. The mechanism for this intense heating is a major puzzle in solar physics, likely involving magnetic energy. Fact 34. Mars has the largest dust storms in the solar system. They can grow to encompass the entire planet and last for months. These global storms block sunlight, causing surface temperatures to drop and making solar-powered rovers go into a protective sleep mode. The fine dust gets into everything and is a major challenge for machinery on the Martian surface. Fact 35. Jupiter's 4 largest moons, Io, Europa, Ganymede, and Callisto, are called the Galilean moons, discovered by Galileo in 1610. Their discovery provided crucial evidence that not all celestial bodies orbited the Earth, directly challenging the geocentric model and supporting the Copernican heliocentric view of the solar system. Fact 36. Triton, Neptune's largest moon, is one of the coldest objects in the solar system, with surface temperatures around -235°C. Despite this deep freeze, it is geologically active, with volcanoes erupting a mixture of nitrogen gas, dust, and methane. Its retrograde orbit makes it unique among large moons. Fact 37. The asteroid belt isn't the only collection of asteroids. The Trojan asteroids share Jupiter's orbit, clustered in two swarms at stable Lagrange, points 60 degrees ahead of and behind the planet. These asteroids are trapped in a gravitational balance between the Sun and Jupiter. Other planets, including Earth, have been found to have Trojan companions as well. Fact 38. Sunspots are temporary, dark regions on the Sun's photosphere that appear darker because they are cooler than surrounding areas. They are caused by concentrations of magnetic field flux that inhibit convection. The number of sunspots follows an approximately 11-year solar cycle, which governs solar activity like flares and coronal mass ejections. Fact 39. Saturn's moon Iapetus has one of the most striking appearances. One hemisphere is as bright as snow, and the other is as dark as asphalt. The leading theory is that dark, dusty material from an outer moon, like Phoebe, coats Iapetus's leading side. The dark area absorbs heat, causing underlying ice to sublimate and further darken the surface in a feedback loop. Fact 40. The hypothetical Planet 9 is a proposed super-Earth-sized planet that may exist in the outer solar system. Its existence is suggested by the unusual clustered orbits of some distant Kuiper belt objects. If real, it could take between 10,000 and 20,000 Earth years to complete a single, highly elongated orbit far beyond Neptune. Fact 41. The boundary where the solar system ends and interstellar space begins is not sharply defined. One key boundary is the heliopause, where the pressure of the solar wind from the Sun balances the pressure of the interstellar medium. Voyager 1 crossed this boundary in 2012, becoming humanity's first interstellar spacecraft. Fact 42. Venus may still be volcanically active. Recent studies of surface mineralogy and atmospheric gases have identified hotspots and transient gas plumes that suggest ongoing volcanic eruptions. If confirmed, Venus would join Earth and Jupiter's moon Io as the only bodies in the solar system with confirmed active lava flows. Fact 43. Earth is not a perfect sphere. It is an oblate sphere, bulging slightly at the equator due to its rotation. This bulge means you weigh slightly less at the equator than at the poles, both because you are farther from the planet's center and because of the centrifugal force of Earth's spin. Fact 44. The Man in the Moon is a collection of dark, solidifying lava plains called Mare. These vast basins were formed by massive asteroid impacts early in the Moon's history, which then filled with molten basalt from the lunar interior. The near side has many more Maria than the far side, a fundamental asymmetry scientists are still working to fully explain. Fact 45. Mars's thin atmosphere is composed of 95% carbon dioxide, but it is too thin to retain much heat, leading to its cold temperatures. However, it can support weather phenomena like clouds, fog, frost, and whirlwinds, dust devils. Some clouds are made of water ice, while others are composed of carbon dioxide ice. Fact 46. Jupiter's iconic bands of color are actually clouds moving at different speeds and in different directions. The light-colored bands are called zones, rising air, and the dark-colored bands are called belts, sinking air. The boundaries between these bands are home to powerful jet streams, with wind speeds easily exceeding 500 kilometers per hour. Fact 47. Uranus and Neptune are classified as ice giants, not gas giants. While they have hydrogen and helium atmospheres, a significant portion of their mass is thought to be a hot, dense fluid of usas, water, ammonia, and methane, mixed with rock and metal. This distinguishes them from Jupiter and Saturn, which are predominantly hydrogen and helium. Fact 48. The moons of Mars, Phobos and Deimos, are named after the Greek gods of fear and terror, respectively, fitting companions for the planet named after the Roman god of war. They are among the darkest objects in the solar system, reflecting very little light, which supports the theory that they are captured asteroids from the outer asteroid belt. Fact 49. The Sun is a middle-aged, yellow dwarf star. It formed about 4.6 billion years ago from the gravitational collapse of a giant molecular cloud. It's currently in its stable main sequence phase, halfway through its total lifespan of about 10 billion years. In about 5 billion years, it will begin its transformation into a red giant. Fact 50. Mercury has permanently shadowed craters at its poles. Radar observations have detected bright, highly reflective material in these craters that is consistent with water ice. This ice survives because the crater floors never receive direct sunlight, creating frigid, cold traps where temperatures can remain below -170 Douglas Sub. Fact 51. Venus rotates backward. When viewed from above the Sun's north pole, most planets rotate counterclockwise and orbit in the same direction. Venus, however, rotates clockwise very slowly. This retrograde rotation is another piece of evidence pointing to a violent, disruptive event in its early history, possibly a giant collision. Fact 52. Earth's atmosphere was not always oxygen-rich. For the first 2 billion years, the atmosphere was anoxic. The Great Oxygenation Event, caused by the evolution of photosynthetic cyanobacteria, dramatically increased atmospheric oxygen about 2.4 billion years ago. This event was toxic to most early anaerobic life, but paved the way for complex oxygen-breathing organisms. Fact 53. Mars once had vast oceans and rivers. Dry riverbeds, lake basins, and mineral evidence all point to a warmer, wetter past over 3 billion years ago. Where that water went is a key mystery. Most is thought to have been lost to space as Mars's magnetic field weakened, and its atmosphere was stripped away by solar wind, with some remaining trapped as ice underground. Fact 54. Jupiter's auroras are the most powerful in the solar system. Generated by the interaction of its powerful magnetic field with charged particles, these permanent light shows are hundreds of times more energetic than Earth's. They are also driven not just by the solar wind, but by material spewed into space by its volcanic moon, Io. Fact 55. Saturn's moon Mimas looks eerily like the Death Star from Star Wars due to a giant impact crater named Herschel that covers nearly a third of its diameter. The impact that created Herschel likely nearly shattered the small moon. Mimas is also the smallest known astronomical body that is rounded by its own gravity. Fact 56. Uranus's rings are dark, narrow, and hard to see. They were only discovered in 1977 by accident, as astronomers watched Uranus pass in front of a star. The star blinked on and off several times before and after the main occultation, revealing the presence of thin rings. Unlike Saturn's icy rings, Uranus's rings are dark and may contain organic material. Fact 57. Neptune was the first planet discovered through mathematical prediction rather than direct observation. Astronomers noticed Uranus's orbit didn't follow Newtonian laws exactly and predicted the gravitational pull of an unseen planet. German astronomer Johann Galle found Neptune in 1846 within a degree of the predicted position, a triumph of celestial mechanics. Fact 58. The dwarf planet Haumea in the Kuiper Belt is one of the fastest spinning large objects in the solar system. It completes a rotation in just under 4 hours, causing it to be distorted into an elongated, ellipsoid shape that resembles a flattened football. It also has a ring system and 2 small moons. Fact 59. Solar flares are sudden, intense eruptions of radiation from the sun's surface, caused by the snapping and reconnection of magnetic field lines. A single flare can release energy equivalent to millions of 100 megaton hydrogen bombs exploding simultaneously. They can disrupt radio communications, damage satellites, and even cause power grid failures on Earth. Fact 60. The zodiacal light is a faint, diffuse glow of sunlight scattered by interplanetary dust in the inner solar system. This dust is thought to come from comets and asteroid collisions. It appears as a triangular cone of light in the western sky after twilight or the eastern sky before dawn, aligning with the ecliptic plane where the planets orbit. Fact 61. Mercury has scarp or cliff-like landforms called lobate scarps that can be hundreds of kilometers long. These are essentially giant wrinkles on the planet's surface. They formed as Mercury's interior cooled and contracted, causing the crust to buckle and break. This tells us Mercury has been shrinking for billions of years. Fact 62. The clouds of Venus move incredibly fast. While the planet itself rotates slowly, the upper cloud decks race around the planet in about 4 Earth days, a phenomenon called superrotation. The driving force for these hurricane-force winds in the thick atmosphere is not fully understood, but involves a complex transfer of heat and momentum. Fact 63. Earth's core is about the size of Mars and is divided into a solid inner core and a liquid outer core. The motion of the molten iron in the outer core, combined with the planet's rotation, generates Earth's magnetic field through a process called the geodynamic. This magnetic field is our shield against harmful solar and cosmic radiation. Fact 64. Mars's largest canyon, Valles Marineris, dwarfs Earth's Grand Canyon. It stretches over 4,000 kilometers long, up to 200 kilometers wide, and plunges up to 7 kilometers deep. It is thought to be a massive tectonic crack that formed as the planet's crust stretched and thinned, later widened by erosion. Fact 65. Jupiter's moon Europa has one of the smoothest surfaces in the solar system. Its icy crust has very few large impact craters, suggesting the surface is geologically young and constantly being renewed. The cracks and ridges on its surface are likely caused by the tidal stresses from Jupiter's gravity flexing the ice shell over the liquid ocean beneath. Fact 66. Saturn's North Pole features a persistent, hexagonal-shaped jet stream. This six-sided wave pattern, first seen by Voyager in the 1980s and later studied in detail by Cassini, is a stunning atmospheric phenomenon. It acts like a standing wave and rotates with the planet's interior. A circular hurricane-like storm sits at its center. Fact 67. Uranus's moon Miranda is one of the most bizarre-looking objects. Its surface is a chaotic jumble of giant fault canyons, terraced layers, and cratered plains. It looks as if it was shattered and reassembled haphazardly. The most likely explanation is that it was disrupted by a massive impact, and then gravity pulled the pieces back together. Fact 68. Neptune's atmosphere has a large, dark storm similar to Jupiter's Great Red Spot, called the Great Dark Spot. It was first observed by Voyager 2 in 1989, but had disappeared by the time the Hubble Space Telescope looked for it in 1994. This shows that Neptune's atmosphere is incredibly dynamic, with large storms forming and dissipating relatively quickly. Fact 69. The Centaurs are a class of icy planetoids that orbit the Sun between Jupiter and Neptune. They have unstable orbits that cross the paths of the giant planets, meaning they will eventually be ejected from the solar system or thrown inward. They are thought to be refugees from the Kuiper Belt and share characteristics with both asteroids and comets. Fact 70. The Sun will not become a supernova. Instead, in about 5 billion years, it will run out of hydrogen fuel, swell into a red giant, and then shed its outer layers to form a beautiful planetary nebula. The remaining core will be a white dwarf, a super-dense, Earth-sized ember that will slowly cool over trillions of years. Fact 71. Mercury's tenuous, temporary atmosphere is called an exosphere. It's so thin that atoms rarely collide. It's composed of atoms blasted off its surface by solar wind, micrometeorite impacts, and the sun's heat. These atoms quickly escape into space or are recycled back onto the surface, meaning Mercury constantly loses and replenishes its atmosphere. Fact 72. Venus may have had Earth-like oceans in its distant past. Before the runaway greenhouse effect took hold, temperatures could have been cool enough for liquid water to exist for perhaps 2 billion years. Some climate models suggest this could have provided a long window for potential life to emerge, making ancient Venus a tantalizing what-if scenario for astrobiologists. Fact 73. Earth's moon is moving away from us at a rate of about 3.8 centimeters per year. This is due to tidal interactions. As the moon's gravity pulls on Earth, it creates tidal bulges. The friction of these bulges against the ocean floor slightly speeds up Earth's rotation and transfers energy to the moon, pushing it into a higher, slower orbit. Fact 74. Mars has the largest volcano in the solar system, Olympus Mons, but it also has the deepest impact basin. The Hellas Planitia Basin is over 2,300 kilometers in diameter and 7 kilometers deep. It was created by a cataclysmic asteroid impact early in Mars's history, and its floor often experiences high atmospheric pressure, leading to unique weather patterns. Fact 75. Jupiter's moon Callisto is the most heavily cratered object in the solar system. Its ancient, dark surface is a record of impacts spanning billions of years, showing little sign of geological activity. This suggests its interior has been mostly inactive, making it a frozen time capsule from the early days of the solar system's formation. Fact 76. Saturn's moon Enceladus is one of the brightest objects in the solar system because its surface is almost pure water ice. It reflects about 90% of the sunlight that hits it, giving it a dazzling white appearance. The icy particles it ejects from its south pole are a major source of material for Saturn's expansive E-ring. Fact 77. The axial tilt of Uranus, 98 degrees, means that during its solstices, one pole points almost directly at the sun for decades, while the other is in total darkness. During its equinoxes, the sun shines directly over its equator, giving both hemispheres day-night cycles similar to other planets. This leads to the most extreme seasonal variations known. Fact 78. Neptune has the strongest sustained winds in the solar system. While the Great Dark Spot may come and go, the planet's jet streams are consistently ferocious. The energy source for these winds is a mystery, as Neptune radiates about 2.6 times more heat than it receives from the distant sun, suggesting powerful internal energy driving its weather. Fact 79. The Kuiper Belt object Arrokoth, visited by New Horizons, is a contact binary, two lobes that gently merge together. Its smooth surface and unblemished appearance suggest it formed gently and has remained in a deep freeze since the solar system's birth. It is considered the most primitive, undisturbed object ever seen up close. Fact 80. The solar wind is a constant stream of charged particles, mostly electrons and protons, ejected from the sun's corona. It travels at speeds between 250 and 800 kilometers per second. This wind shapes the heliosphere, deflects incoming interstellar gas, and is responsible for driving the beautiful auroras at Earth's poles. Fact 81. Mercury has a magnetic field that is only about 1% as strong as Earth's, but it's strong enough to create a small magnetosphere that deflects the solar wind. This was a surprise to scientists who thought Mercury's core would have solidified long ago. The presence of this field implies that at least part of its massive iron core is still molten. Fact 82. Venus's surface pressure is 92 times that of Earth's, equivalent to the pressure you'd feel nearly 1 kilometer underwater. This intense pressure has crushed every lander sent to the surface within hours. The Soviet Venera landers are the only spacecraft to have successfully transmitted images from the hellish surface before succumbing to the heat and pressure. Fact 83. Earth is the only planet known to have fire. The combination of a high oxygen atmosphere, Abundant combustible materials like plants and widespread lightning makes fire a common planetary phenomenon here. This may have played a role in human evolution and technological development, setting our world apart. Fact 84. Mars's soil contains perchlorates, salts that are toxic to humans and can hinder plant growth. This discovery complicates plans for future human habitation and farming on Mars, as the soil would need extensive processing to be made safe. However, perchlorates can also be a source of oxygen and rocket fuel, presenting both a challenge and an opportunity. Fact 85. Jupiter has at least 95 known moons, making it the planet with the largest known lunar system. The 4 Galilean moons are like mini solar systems themselves, while the rest are a mix of captured asteroids and smaller, irregularly shaped bodies. New moons are still being discovered in its vast gravitational domain. Fact 86. Saturn's moon Titan has sand dunes, but they are not made of silicate sand like on Earth. Instead, they are likely composed of hydrocarbon grains, possibly like frozen tar or plastic beads, shaped by winds in its thick atmosphere. These dunes can be hundreds of meters high and stretch for hundreds of kilometers across its equatorial regions. Fact 87. Uranus's magnetic field is bizarrely tilted and offset. The magnetic poles are about 60 degrees from the planet's rotational poles, and the magnetic field center is offset from the planet's physical center by about 1/3 of the planet's radius. This suggests the field is generated by a dynamo process in a layer of conductive, slushy ice and water, not in the core. Fact 88. Neptune's moon Triton is gradually spiraling inward due to tidal forces. In about 3.6 billion years, it will pass inside Neptune's Roche limit, the distance where tidal forces overcome a moon's own gravity. At that point, Triton will be torn apart, likely creating a spectacular ring system around Neptune that could rival Saturn. Fact 89. The Oort cloud is so distant that no spacecraft will reach it for tens of thousands of years. Voyager 1, the farthest human-made object, will take about 300 years to reach its inner edge. This hypothetical reservoir of comets marks the true gravitational boundary of the solar system, where the sun's influence finally gives way to the galactic tide. Fact 90. The sun's gravity focuses light from distant objects. In theory, a spacecraft positioned at the sun's gravitational focus, about 550 AU away, could use the sun as a giant lens to achieve incredibly detailed images of exoplanets. This concept, called a gravitational lens telescope, could one day allow us to see surface features of planets orbiting other stars. Fact 91. Mercury's Caloris Basin is one of the largest impact basins in the solar system, about 1,550 kilometers in diameter. The impact was so violent it created a ring of concentric mountains over 2 kilometers high and sent seismic waves around the planet, creating hilly, disrupted terrain called weird terrain on the exact opposite side of Mercury. Fact 92. The highland volcanoes on Venus are called pancake domes or pharra because of their flat, circular shape. They are formed by very thick, viscous lava that oozes out slowly and doesn't flow far, building up steep-sided, flat-top structures. This tells us about the unique volcanic chemistry and conditions on Venus. Fact 93. Earth's largest single living structure is actually the Great Barrier Reef, but from space, one of the most visible human-made structures is the Great Wall of China. However, a common myth is that it's the only human-made object visible from space. In low Earth orbit, many cities, highways, and even large ships are visible under the right conditions. Fact 94. Mars has polar ice caps made of water ice and frozen carbon dioxide, dry ice. They grow and shrink with the seasons. The northern cap is mostly water ice, while the southern cap has a permanent layer of dry ice over water ice. These caps hold a significant fraction of the planet's known water inventory. Fact 95. Jupiter's moon Io is so volcanically active that its entire surface is repaved every few million years. It has no impact craters because they are constantly buried by new lava flows and volcanic plumes. This makes Io's surface one of the youngest and most dynamic landscapes in the entire solar system. Fact 96. Saturn rings are alphabetically named in the order they were discovered. The main rings are D, C, B, A, F, G, and E, moving outward. The most prominent are the B and A rings, separated by the Cassini division, a 4,800 kilometer wide gap cleared by the gravitational resonance with the moon Mimas. Fact 97. Uranus's blue-green color comes from methane in its upper atmosphere. Methane gas absorbs the red wavelengths of sunlight and reflects the blue-green ones. Below the methane haze, the atmosphere is thought to be composed mostly of hydrogen, helium, and ices of water, ammonia, and methane sulfide. Fact 98. Neptune's discovery was a product of international rivalry. Englishmen John Couch Adams and Frenchman Urbain Le Verrier independently predicted its existence and location using math. While Adams's calculations were earlier, Le Verrier's predictions prompted the successful observation in Berlin. This led to a patriotic dispute over who deserved credit. Fact 99. The dwarf planet Makemake in the Kuiper Belt is so distant and cold that its atmosphere, likely composed of nitrogen and methane, may freeze and collapse onto the surface for most of its elongated orbit, only forming a temporary atmosphere when it is closest to the sun, perihelion. Fact 100. Our solar system is one of billions, possibly trillions, in the Milky Way galaxy alone. Every star you see at night is a sun, and many likely have their own planets. This realization that our planetary system is not unique transforms our place in the cosmos from a central stage to a single, fascinating example in a vast gallery of worlds. The exploration of our own solar system is the first step in understanding this incredible cosmic diversity.